Oh my gosh. Sure. Guys, I'm tired. And you can see from here that I'm tired. But good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are in PE for an amazing event. MBOKODO Rise 2021. I'm a guest speaker. I'm in my hometown, man. I'm in my hometown. I'm excited. PE is living up to its reputation. It's windy, but it's fun. I'm happy to be waking up home. Look at this.
Alright, so I just had a good bath and I'm waiting for my makeup artist to come and use this face. So Cairo is coming through. I'm gonna put the details on the bottom of the screen. I'm so excited. She's one of the finest makeup artists in PE. Thank you very much. So I'm excited, man, guys. I'm just trying to get myself together, centered, listening to gospel music, like use. Guys.
Everybody, can you guys I can't even speak. I can't even speak. Guys, my makeup is being done by the most influential and also absolutely I can't even talk, guys.
Oh man, stop!
Makeup artist in the buy.
Yes.
In the grabs. In the grabs. Oh, Cairo, guys, is doing my makeup.
Cairo, easy, but too easy.
I'm gonna be so beautiful.
You will.
I'm gonna be very beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna.
It's like my canvas, yeah.
She. Sorry, she.
Shit! Sila! Bungayazi?
Yini Thixo manisemhle.
Bungayazi, show me.
Thixo! Hey! Nsana war.
Stress.
Jonathan, ndifuna bengicaba ndizoya for a walk after the event.
I walk
because galoko i-second session ndifuna ibe fresh ohlobo.
I walk
And andifuna ukukhala, ndifuna ndineda ndibongene.
Uzokhala ku-second session.
I'm Ken.
and gentlemen, ni ready now? A warm round of applause for Nozi Mayaba.
So we're all going to do them online. I'm going to count it down. 3, 2, 1, Osasa and I were talking. So she briefs me in terms of what she would like me to talk about. But with her permission, that can I there's just something in my heart that has been in my heart for months. And I know I have an opportunity to speak about it on my platforms. I have an opportunity to speak about it in other events. But it's so special that I want to share it here. Because I've come to speak to a variety of audience. But these I know are people that know me. As I've said, I'm a PE girl, I was born and bred here. So if I start lying, because that didn't happen. Let me start here. I grew up as any other child. I was very ambitious. I had dreams, I had aspirations. I wanted a big house, I wanted a car, I wanted to take care of my family. I wanted to be the first one to graduate in my family. And basically, really, literally change the cycle of poverty that I grew up in. But more so, beyond the material things, I wanted something else. Because I've come to realize, materially, these things are very nice. Driving a nice car is nice. Being in a house, it's very nice. But there comes a point where it's not enough. So my constant prayer was, God, I want something also beyond that. I want my life to mean something. Please use me. And yes, what does that mean? But I want my lifeline to be purposeful. I want my life to really impact people. May my life be a continuous reminder that, hey, God, may my life be, God, Lord, I can say, God, you are able to do it with me. I wanted that. I craved that. Because I didn't want to believe that I was born to wake up, go to work, and then come back, pay bills, and that's it. Man, there must be more to life than that. But as we continue, you start realizing that our prayers sometimes are not very specific. We want something, Lord, I want money, and then the Lord gives 1,000 rand. You're like, I wanted more. Lord, I want a job, and then He gives you a job that you didn't like. I was like, this is not what I meant. Like, Lord, you said you wanted a job. You didn't say what job. So when I was diagnosed with HIV in 2013, hey, ISSA, I was like, I did say that I want you to use me, but hello, I didn't mean it to that extreme. I thought it was a bit centered out of my comfort zone. So that you can use me with something else, not something that I thought was beyond me. No, when you read Moses' story, and how he was called to rescue the Israelites in Egypt. What you are calling me to do is beyond me. What am I going to do? That there are more qualified people that can do this, not me. We've come to be more realistic. We work with what we have. We work with what is available to us. So we are more aware of our weaknesses and what we are able not to do. But God says in His Word, many are the plans in the man's heart, but it's God's will that always prevails. There are many plans in our hearts, but it is God that determines our steps. And it's in a determination steps when we plan our life. To some degree, it can be very selfish.
Because when I was thinking, Lord, you know what? Okay, maybe if I can, influence, a couple of people, that will be fine. But when God determines your steps, that can echo through generations to come. Because yena akasebenzi with what you see. He works with the potential that is within you. Okay, over time I was like, okay, you know what? I get you. Okay, you want me to do this? However, I have conditions. Everyone has conditions. When you go to the shop, you buy something, you're like, listen, this better work. Okay, I'm going to return it. Okay, so I needed some life insurance, I needed some guarantees. Okay, number one, Lord, however, you must make sure that you take care of myself. By taking care of myself, whatever the journey might entail, empower me with strength to overcome whatever comes my way. I'm agreeing, but because I don't want to embarrass my family. Number two, I'm asking God to also take care of my family. Prepare the ground before me. I was raised by a tough mom, very tough, a typical black, strong mom. You must watch what you say, otherwise you land yourself in hospital. She doesn't care. And I've come to understand sometimes when I talk about my mom, it seems like I'm exaggerating, but then I think people who follow me on Instagram have come to understand who Fezzy is, right? Like how she responds to things. Like she's a no-nonsense taker, okay? And by the way, she's still mad at me for that video that I did, and she still wants that 150,000 rand that I don't.
Let's call it
So,
video.
knowing the circumstances of how I grew up, prepare her heart. So that can't not disclose that mama, this happened. I was diagnosed with HIV in 2013. 6 years later, may she understand. Because mama again is also one person that is very finicky about her status in our community. She's one of those women that in a church, nothing moves until she says so. Okay? She's not a pastor or anything like that, by the way. She's not even a pastor's wife. But then everyone understands that, may you have the last words. So she prides herself about her reputation, about her stature, about how she carries herself. You heard it from the video. That's who she is. Lord, prepare her. Number 3, I'm going to do this, what you're asking me to do. However, I'm asking you to align everything that I'm going to do towards this ministry. Be it my job, be it my work, everything must be in alignment with this. Okay, amen, amen. Then I came out with my story, October 2019. Okay? First let me be very transparent. I came out with my story in October 2019, a week after I told my mom about my status 6 years later.
Sure.
Didn't wait for it. Ripped the bandage while it was still very fresh. While she was still grappling with that, those news, there's cover, stories on the newspapers, YouTube is blossoming on the other side. Everyone is aware of my story. It's very funny because my husband and I live in Joburg. There's one particular time, we happened to be in PE. She gets a phone call from one of our relatives. Says, it's an embarrassment. She cannot speak like that in front of people. She didn't need to say anything. I could see her sinking in a chair. Now, as someone who is I'm very fond of my mom, I respect my mom, I love my mom. It broke my heart. Because I'm like, Lord, though, I did say, like I did ask you to prepare me. Now, to be exposed to a parent who's heartbroken, it's not a nice feeling, as if I've disappointed her. It's very painful. The cost of purpose is very expensive. We don't often speak about it. We speak about purpose being, this fancy thing, when you're doing something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. When you're doing something you're passionate about, you'll be happy for the rest of your life. But we don't talk about the cost of purpose.
True.
In the explosion of my story, I didn't realize that there was fire that was brewing next to me. It was a very painful thing. The reason why I'm sharing this is because we don't often share these things on social media. We share the good side, the 20-second snippets. Oh no, you guys are funny. You guys have a perfect life. It's all part of it. We don't talk about it. The cost of purpose is very expensive. I'm grappling with the fact that I'm about to lose my job. I'm grappling with the fact that my mom is also having difficulty in accepting the new reality. Kanti, Lord, what do you want me to do? I must have heard him wrong. No, there was a mistake. I wasn't supposed to do it this way. But in all of that, it's fine. Just show me the way then. There's 4 things that I wanted to share that helped me in my journey. I'm sharing them because in purpose, it differs from one person to the next. This particular story is my purpose. It's how I have been called to make a difference. To you sitting here, it might be different. You have been called to open up a business. You have been called to be the first one in your family to graduate so that you can also change the cycle of poverty. You want to get a job, so many different things. But to come ebana, lento kanyifunai is the one that you're going to suffer the most. You open a business, you invest your life saving into that business. It fails within 1 year. And people are looking at you, particularly around this climate. Why would they start a business like in this climate? What makes them special? Now you're standing there looking like a fool. But then you know the burning desire that is within you. Your parents invest in your education. You go and graduate. Fairly enough, you become the first one to graduate in your family. The following day, you are hit with the reality that, unfortunately, you don't have a job. You sit with that degree at home. Purpose. You have been seeking a job for years. Finally, you get a job, and it's the same job that sends you into a mental institution. Purpose. Why is it expensive? Why is it so painful? The first thing I'm going to say is, you need to accept the different seasons of life. There's a song that we love ending by 4-year-old niece Amy. It says, 4 seasons in the year, summer, autumn, winter, spring. We know when we in spring. We know by the next season that is going to follow is summer. After that it's autumn and then winter and then it goes on again. It's nature, it's already expected, we're expecting it, right? Similar to life. It doesn't mean that you are waiting for something bad to happen, but you're already preparing yourself. The other day, I'm going to the shops with my cousin, and then obviously now there's a new spring collection. And then now all the shops are running a promotion on winter stuff, right? 50% off. And now I take 2 jackets, coats, because they're very cheap. I think they were 100 rand. And my cousin is like, but then, why would you take it? But then, because I'm not going to use them now, it doesn't mean that there won't be a time where I'm going to use them. Accept the different seasons of life. We struggle in HIV care and management because for example, would be diagnosed with HIV randomly sometimes. Like me, I was not looking for it. I was at work. I was shocked. I was in denial. And then they go around for years not taking a treatment, thinking that they are fine. But then they don't understand that the virus inside is busy killing them and compromising their immune system. We go around in denial, but accept. you're going around, no, and then you don't realize, accept. The second thing is accepting that there are different seasons in life. Is that it prepares you of how to adjust into that season. When you are in winter, can't go around outside wearing your bum shorts. If you are in summer, you can't go around wearing your boots. I mean, hello? When it's summer, when it's winter, and you dress according to that season. You react according to that season. It reminds me of a story. Mama, I've already told you about my mom. Mama is a very confident lady. So this one time she leaves our home with my cousin. They go at the shops, right? It's winter up here. And also winter, you know most of the wind is very strong. Wind is city, hello? There's so sisters ufake umbrella yakhe inside the bag. So now she tells me they go out of the shops. It's raining and there's not only raining but the wind is very strong. So now everyone is standing outside just for the wind to subside and also the rain to quiet down a bit. Okay, now this girl thinks to herself. And then, and I was left with the stick. Because when you don't know how to react by the season that you're in. Adjusting yourself to the season allows you or makes you understand how to respond, what to say, and what to do. Adjust to the season. I want to tell you a very short story. I shared this on Facebook many months ago. There's a powerful narrative that T.D. Jakes once shared. He went to there's a place where the tip of Africa meets the southern point of Europe. The continents are so close to each other that between them it's about 10 kilometers apart. Now they're going up the mountain because the more you go up, the more visible you're going to see the different continents. Now as they're going up, there's different monkeys that are jumping onto the cars. The tour guide said, you know what? When the monkeys started migrating into that area, in winter it became so cold that their tails would freeze off. But the magic thing is, they would freeze when they started birthing their own children. They birthed children that already had their tails cut off. The learning there is they had adjusted to the environment. They didn't just get there and bahlale. Okay, climate situation adjust to the situation. But the problem with us, Gqeberha, is with our mouths. I know from experience. I take after my mother, although I don't want to, to tell you guys, and I'll never tell her this as well. I can talk. And not only can I talk, I can defend myself. In a fight, I will go toe to toe. Yeah, but I can defend myself. But there comes a time where I'm like, it doesn't need defending. I'm very high. You talk, I talk. But I've come to understand by the situations that I'm facing, whether it's in family, my mom not accepting my status, my job, whatever, I've come to understand, keep quiet. Because it is a time for you to keep quiet. Being able to adjust in an environment allows you to study more. You know the biggest military forces in the world, Russia, UK, US, they just don't go to war for the sake of going to war. Their asset is in their undercover intelligence. Those guys, study the enemy. Who funds this? Where are they? What is their weakest link? And only when they are sure that they're going to win, they attack. To a point where someone will do something, they already know your reaction. They already studied you. They know if they do this, you're going to do that. If they do this, you're going to do that. There comes a point where I'm like, Nosmela, do you want to say something? No, I don't have anything to say. Oh, do you have any feedback? No, I don't have any feedback. I've had to apologize for things that I didn't even do because I've come to understand that is the time for it now. It's not the time to fight and war, but there will be a time where I'm going to fight and I'm going to win. There is a scripture that I love in Proverbs. It talks about what we say and about how we guard our mouths. So in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 3, it says, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. NgesiXhosa ndiyayithanda ithi obambe umlomo wakhe ugcine umphefumlo wakhe. Owuthe qheke umlomo injabalalo kuye leyo. Know when to speak, know when to fight, adjust to the environment because kukho amaxesha amanjalo. The third thing that I'm going to say is, there comes a point where you understand that you are being elevated, but abaqondi. I want you guys to go home after this event. Please take some time to study Genesis chapter 37. It's about the story of Joseph. I love it so much because I think there are so many secrets within the scripture that we don't understand or we miss them. Oh, Joseph, we all know he was not liked by his brothers because he kept on interpreting dreams. He goes up and tells the brothers that I saw in the dream that Eyami Imfuyo was bowing down to his. He dreams that the sun, the moon, the 11 stars are bowing to him. Now they ask him, so what does that mean? So do you mean Banatina, we are going to bow to you? You don't realize that those guys, the brothers, did not like Joseph just for the sake of not liking Joseph. They saw the potential of Joseph. They saw what the dreams mean. And for that reason, they needed to take care of business. Come up with a plot, Masimbulalo, of Kinimba to one of the brothers. That time, we must just send him to the slaves. My favorite part, while they're thinking more that they are plotting against him, abayazi babayam dudula to his destiny. They don't understand, but this is what God had intended in the first place. The plot, kill, sell, slaves. Years later, Joseph, second most important person in Egypt, distributing food. What you intended to harm me, God used it for good, so that the lives of many people may be saved. You are being elevated, man. Fourthly, do not stop. There came a time, I'll be very honest, I'm a simple girl. I like simple things. I'm a girl that goes to a small street, for goodness sake, to get some cheap bargains, okay? I'm simple, my husband knows. He literally could buy me 50 rand flowers, okay? And I'll be the happiest. You're so sweet. It's so easy to make me happy because I think it also is a representation of how I grew up. It's the simplest things that make me happy. So sometimes you get mixed up in the clout of things, but then I was like, Lord, if kule journey, this is what it entails. If I'm going to experience this much hurt, then you can take all of it, because kakade is not something that I was used to. So that's what jobbing, that's what PPP, like I don't care. Because I only see them on social media. I often even get scared when people call me an influencer, right? Because to me, when I look at an influencer, I see the Mithalis, I see, all those people. And I'm like, I'm not an influencer. I'm not an influencer. This one time, I'm at a mall. So we meet like a mommy and daughter. So the mommy recognizes Gqeberha. And then she starts saying, oh, can we take a picture? But then the funny thing is, we look at the daughter, she's so confused, like she's about 10. Obviously, I am in my track pants and on jonji, like flops. And then I had this hairstyle, and then over time I had it so long that I didn't know how to style it, to a point where it looked like a fountain in some cases. So obviously I'm confused, like what the hell? So the mom says, no, oh no, it's the influencer. And I was like, girl, I know. Like I'm also confused, don't worry, okay? I'm not an influencer. So for that reason, I was like, no, Lord, you can take it back. And I had an honest conversation with school. And I said, school, I want to quit like all of this because it's bringing me more challenges than it's bringing me more joy in this case. So I must stop the advocacy work, I must stop the events, I must stop all YouTube, all that. I don't need it. It is going to disturb me if I'm going to now face these different challenges. But indeed, I start thinking about so many people. People that have gone back after defaulting for many years. People that have started their treatment. People that have found new hope in love and in life in just generally. Marriages that have been restored, lives that have been changed. And this week. And I got changed in December. Because I've come to say to God, it's very simple. If you want me to do this, you are going to make provision. One way or the other, you are going to make provision. I don't know how you're going to be. It's either you're going to soften the heart of Pharaoh, I don't know, but you are going to make the provision. So don't stop.
Sure.
Lastly, there's a quote that I love, once again by T.D. Jakes. It says, the journey needs people that are tough. Tough not in the physical sense. You can only get so far with physically. Tough in terms of how you build resistance and resilience against things that have nothing to do with your destiny. Toughness in terms of how you build resistance and resilience against so many different things, the noise that have nothing to do with your destiny. That is just there to distract you and take you away from the place that God has assigned you. You're going to have to be very tough. How do you build toughness? It varies from one person to the next. For me, be very, very centered in prayer. Continue to remember who you are. You are more than a conqueror. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. God didn't make any mistake. He continues not to make any mistake. Whatever life throws our way, we are rich.